He thought that he had found an abandoned puppy. A year later, he was shocked to see what it actually was. Dogs are seen as one of the most loyal and loving animals that we can have as pets. Once they have been introduced to a family, they see it as their own and will gladly protect it with everything that they have. As well as that, they are also incredibly adorable and can provide massive amounts of comfort and love to their owners. It was for this reason that Henry loved dogs and that he would do anything to help them. Only this time, he was shocked to see what the creature actually turned out to be. Once upon a time, there was a small village known as Green Haven that was located in the center of an extremely dense and active jungle. It was a sight that gave off the impression of being in the middle of an untamed wilderness and was full of verdant greenery. One of the villagers was a man by the name of Henry. Henry was a rough and tumble explorer who had a mind that was brimming with questions and a spirit that yearned for adventure. Max, his ever-faithful companion, would go into the wilderness with him on each and every one of his adventures. Max was no average dog. He had an insatiable taste for adventure, rivaled only by Henry himself. Only Henry could satisfy Max's hunger for excitement. Together, they would explore the wild paths of the jungle, go where no one had gone before, and discover the mysteries that were concealed by the thick vegetation. Their friendship became deeper and more unbreakable with each passing day, as did the trust they had in one another, and their appreciation for the natural world only increased. On one particular sunny morning, Henry and Max decided to embark on a new escapade, venturing further into the depths of the jungle than ever before. The air was thick with anticipation as they forged their way through towering trees and tangled underbrush. The chorus of exotic birds and the distant calls of unknown animals serenaded their journey, filling their hearts with excitement. After traversing a labyrinth of trails, they stumbled upon a hidden clearing bathed in dappled sunlight that filtered through the thick canopy overhead. It was a serene oasis, untouched by human interference. Henry, feeling a surge of joy and freedom, decided it was the perfect place to engage in their beloved game of fetch. Max bounded forth with boundless energy, his tail wagging with enthusiasm as Henry threw the tennis ball into the open space. With a burst of speed, Max chased after it, disappearing into the foliage with a joyful bark. Henry waited patiently, his eyes scanning the verdant surroundings, eagerly anticipating Max's return. Moments turned into minutes, and as time ticked on, Henry's excitement turned into concern. Where was Max? He called out, his voice echoing through the tranquil stillness of the clearing. Just as worry began to cloud his thoughts, a rustling in the undergrowth caught his attention. Out of the thick foliage emerged Max, his loyal eyes gleaming with triumph. However, instead of the familiar tennis ball clutched tightly in his mouth, there was something entirely unexpected. A tiny, squirming creature, fragile and helpless. Henry's heart skipped a beat at the sight. Max walked up to Henry with his tail wagging in a manner that communicated a mix of pride and confusion. He handled the wiggling bundle with care before placing it at Henry's feet. Henry got down on one knee, his eyes bulging out in shock as he did so. It was a newborn animal that was so little that its eyes weren't even open yet when they saw it. At that very time, Henry reasoned that it must be a newborn puppy that had been abandoned by its mother. With a mix of compassion and curiosity, Henry cradled the little creature in his hands, examining its delicate features. The tiny paws, the velvety fur, everything about it seemed so endearing. Max circled around them, offering silent support, sensing the importance of this newfound companion. Henry's initial assumption that it was a newborn puppy quickly dissolved as he examined the creature more closely. It lacked the characteristic shape and snout of a puppy. Its body seemed elongated and slender, distinct from the stout shape of a young dog. Confusion mingled with wonder as Henry tried to identify the species of this tiny being. Meanwhile, Max, sensing his owner's fascination, wagged his tail excitedly, his eyes brimming with joy. It was as if Max had stumbled upon a precious treasure, and in his loyal nature, he had delivered it to Henry, a human leader, for protection and care. Determined to provide the care this precious creature needed, Henry and Max decided to bring the baby animal back to their village. They fashioned a cozy nest lined with soft leaves and made sure the creature was warm and comfortable. Together, they nurtured and protected it, treating it as one of their own. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and the little creature flourished under their attentive care. It became a cherished member of their small family, forming an unbreakable bond with both Henry and Max. The trio would explore the jungle together, discovering hidden waterfalls, observing exotic wildlife, and marveling at the wonders of nature. The little creature that Henry and Max had taken in continued to grow and develop even further as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months. The length of its lean body increased, exposing a physique that was lithe and nimble. Its face took on a peculiar appearance, with a pointed snout and bright eyes that seemed to be looking about curiously. The puppy-like playfulness remained, but there was an energy and a naughtiness that seemed to be unique to this individual. Henry couldn't shake off the nagging feeling that something was amiss. He spent hours observing their companion, noticing its graceful movements and the way it interacted with its surroundings. The more he observed, the more convinced he became that this was no ordinary puppy. Determined to uncover the truth, Henry sought the expertise of Dr. Collins, the village veterinarian known for his deep understanding of the jungle's creatures. He explained the situation to the kind-hearted doctor, recounting their initial discovery of the creature, its growth, and the peculiarities that had caught his attention. Collins listened attentively, his face a mask of intrigue. He nodded, acknowledging Henry's concerns, and assured him that he would do everything possible to provide answers. Together, they embarked on a journey of discovery, ready to uncover the identity of their mysterious companion. Henry waited patiently in the warm and inviting examining room of the quaint village veterinary clinic as Dr. Collins conducted a thorough checkup of their cherished puppy. The vet took measurements of its body and made notes about the peculiar characteristics of its appearance, both of which had long baffled Henry. He prodded and palpated the critter in a gentle manner, but the animal did not show any signs of discomfort. As Dr. Collins conducted his examination, he explained to Henry that sometimes animals can display physical characteristics that are deceiving in their early stages of life. He shared stories of other cases where baby animals had been mistakenly identified as different species due to their appearance. This revelation left Henry intrigued yet slightly bewildered. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Dr. Collins concluded his examination. With a knowing smile, he looked at Henry and said, "You won't believe this, but your puppy is not a dog at all. It's a ferret." Dr. Collins explained to Henry that ferrets are highly adaptable creatures and can sometimes be mistaken for other animals when they're young. Henry's eyes widened in astonishment. Ferret. The word echoed in his mind as he struggled to comprehend the truth. Dr. Collins went on to explain that ferrets are highly adaptable creatures, capable of blending into different environments. When they're young, their physical features can be misleading, leading to misidentifications like the one Henry had made. As the reality sank in, Henry's initial surprise transformed into awe. He marveled at the uniqueness of their journey, the serendipitous encounter that had brought a ferret into their lives, and the profound connection they had formed. Dr. Collins reassured Henry that his bond with the ferret was special, one that could only be forged through love, care, and shared experiences. He applauded Henry's dedication in providing a nurturing environment for the young ferret and encouraged him to continue embracing the wonder of their relationship. With a heart filled with gratitude and a newfound understanding, Henry left the clinic, his mind swirling with thoughts. He realized that although the identity of their companion had changed, the love and companionship they shared remained unchanged. Over the years, Fergus continued to grow and thrive under Henry's care, but the jungle still beckoned him. Henry understood that Fergus needed to live in his natural habitat, surrounded by other ferrets. With a heavy heart, Henry bid farewell to his beloved companion, knowing that it was the best decision for Fergus' happiness. Even though Fergus had moved back to the jungle, he would periodically pay Henry and Max a visit, which helped them get back in touch with one another and reminded them of the great connection they had. Because of an accidental meeting and an unusual journey that brought them together, the man, the dog, and the ferret remain inseparably linked over the course of their further experiences. That's all for this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification for more such videos. Thanks for watching.